It is time for the NFL Combine. What's going on, folks? This is Coach Marcus, Pro Fan Talk, and we are here again. It is time for the NFL Combine. Time for everybody in the media, all of these scouts and all of these coaches, talk a bunch of smack, spit out a whole bunch of stuff that probably isn't true so they can protect their draft position, hype up these kids and give them false hope. Sometimes it's real, sometimes it's fake, but at the end of the day, everybody is here and basically it's just going to determine what's going to happen. And now the funny thing is there's always a couple of kids every year, a couple of athletes that decide not to go to the draft. This year the big name is Marvin Harrison Jr. Everybody doesn't have to go to the combine. If you are projected top 10 pick, you really don't have to go. Everybody knows what you've done. Everybody's seen your film, and that should be the deciding factor. Unfortunately, it is not. We have a situation. This is going to happen. You're going to have some kid that played at a college, some big, some small, some mid, had a phenomenal year, put up very good numbers against very good opponents. He'll get to the combine, have a so-so to bad workout, and his draft status will drop. The flip side of that is you will have a kid that was just okay in college, just okay against good competition. He will get to the combine and he will jump out of the gym. He's going to have a workout, vertical leap, 40-yard dash, standing broad jump, cone drills, whatever it is. He's going to throw up 30 on the bench press, and he is going to open some eyes. His draft stock is going to go up. Both situations, scouts seem to forget about everything that they have seen on film. It's almost like in a lot of cases, not all, but in a lot of cases, what they do at the combine trumps what you have seen all year with your own eyes on film. Some of it, they just enamor you with a certain move. Last year, Anthony Richardson was the one that jumped out of the gym. Some of the stuff he did was just off the charts. Year before that, was it 2 years ago? Was it Chris Jones? Every year there's somebody opens your eye. Nolan Richardson for us, for the Eagles. So every year you're going to have somebody like that. They just blow it out of the water. And everybody's like, where did this guy come from? Again, on the flip side, then you got somebody like Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. What he did in college and the amount of stuff that he did when he was at, I believe he went to Iowa State, everybody just kind of glosses over that. And somebody like him has to go to the combine and just has to light it up. Sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes it doesn't. You look at Puka Nacua. He had a decent career, but when he finally got his opportunity at the NFL level, he blew it out of the water. How did everybody miss on that? How did everybody miss on Brock Purdy? How come everybody was so sure when Jalen Hurts came out, that was a wasted second round pick by the Eagles? How did everybody miss on Tom Brady, him going in the 6th? At the end of the day, nobody knows. Everybody is guessing. All of these scouts, all of these coaches, all of these GMs, and all you fans are going to be glued to the NFL Network tomorrow watching the proceedings of the NFL Combine. And I'm going to raise my hand because I'm going to be right there with them. But I know how this works. There's going to be some kids that just don't have a good performance. Just because you don't have a good performance, it shouldn't really have any indication on what you did during the year. But unfortunately, it does. The combine has turned into the test that you can't fail. I didn't have a very good combine as far as my 40-yard dash. I didn't have the super slick, ultra lightweight Nike shoes that everybody else was running with. If you've never run on Indianapolis's surface, you need practice because it's a little different. Now, I'm sure since when I was there, the turf was very soft. If you're not used to running on that surface, you need to get something similar to get used to it because it is a different feel. My 40 time was like a 4.75, and I know I'm faster than that, but when I had my workout at Eastern Kentucky and the Dolphins, and I think it was another team up there that worked me out, I ran a 4.48, but you got to do it when everybody's watching. You got to do it at the combine because everybody else doesn't get the opportunity to come to your school. I was lucky enough to have 2 scouts come up there. You got Marvin Harrison, and I believe there's a couple of the quarterbacks. I'm not sure if Caleb Williams is throwing. When you got guys like that that are guaranteed to be in that top 10, they don't have to go to the combine to work out. They might show up to answer some questions or something like that, but at the end of the day, everybody's going to come to them. Caleb Williams is probably going to have a workout at this school, and it'll be a ton of scouts there, and it'll probably be some other athletes that maybe didn't get invited to the combine, and they're going to run their 40 times and different things like that. If you are around somebody, and I'm sure they work it out beforehand, you're just not going to show up and do it, that does put some eyes on some other players that may not have been able to make it to the combine. Marvin Harrison Jr., what does he got to prove? What is a 40-yard dash going to show you that you haven't already seen with Marvin Harrison? And that same logic is why scouts would miss on somebody like Brock Purdy, like Puka Nacua. How many people passed up on him? Because the school's not big enough. They didn't make enough catches. You don't know what the situation is. And all of the legitimate issues that an athlete has to go through. They don't have a good quarterback. They didn't have a good run game. You're a victim of nepotism or favoritism. The guy that's starting ahead of you is the founder of the school. It's his great-grandson. Stuff like that happens all the time. That's real. You can go to a bunch of situations, a bunch of different schools, and I guarantee you, on a lot of those teams, there's somebody that's playing that shouldn't be. And there's a stud sitting on the bench that can't get no play time for whatever reason. Happens all the time. Enjoy the NFL Combine. The question will be, who's going to have the standout workout? Who's going to give you that wow factor and show you something that you didn't expect to see? So enjoy it. I'll be reporting on it. I'll have a couple more videos coming out as we go through the weekend, and it should be fun to watch.